His gaping wounds the falls had opened wide, the streams of blood about him made a lake. Helped with his left hand, on one knee he tried to rear himself, and new defence to make. The courteous prince stepped back, and yield thee cried. No hurt he proffered him, no blow he strake. Meanwhile by stealth the pagan false him gave a sudden wound, threatening with speeches brave. Herewith Tancredi furious grew, and said, Villain, dost thou my mercy so despise? Therewith he thrust, and thrust again his blade, and through his vental pierced his dazzled eyes. Argantes died, yet no complaint he made, but as he furious lived, he careless dies. Bold, proud, disdainful, fierce, and void of fear, his motions last looks, last speeches were. Tancred put up his sword, and praises glad gave to his God that saved him in this fight. But yet this bloody conquest feebled had so much the conqueror's force, strength, and might, that through the way he feared, which homeward led, he had not strength enough to walk upright. Yet as he could his steps from thence he bent, and foot by foot a heavy pace forth went. His legs could bear him but a little stound, and more he haste, more tired, less was his speed. On his right hand at last laid on the ground he leaned, his hand weak like a shaking reed, dazzled his eyes, the world on wheels ran round. Day wrapped her brightness up in sable weed, at length he swooned, and the victor night not differed from his conquered foe in fight. But while these lords their private fight pursue, made fierce and cruel through their secret hate, the victor's ire destroyed the faithless crew from street to street, and chased from gate to gate. But of the sacked town the image true, who can describe or paint the woeful state, or with fit words this spectacle express, who can, or tell the city's great distress? Blood, murder, death, each street, house, church defiled. There heaps of slain appear, there mountains high, there underneath the unburied hills uppiled of bodies dead, the living buried lie. There the sad mother with her tender child doth tear her tresses loose, complain and fly, and there the spoiler by her amber hair draws to his lust the virgin chaste and fair. But through the way that to the west hill yewed, whereon the old and stately temple stands, all soiled with gore and wet with lukewarm blood, Rinaldo ran, and chased the pagan bands. Above their heads he heaved his curtlax good, life in his grace, and death lay in his hands, nor helm nor target strong his blows off bears, best armed there seemed he no arms that wears. For 'gainst his armed foes he only bends his force, and scorns the naked folk to wound. Them whom no courage arms, no arms defends, he chased with his looks and dreadful sound. Oh, who can tell how far his force extends? How these he scorns, threats those, lays them on ground. How with unequal harm, with equal fear fled all that well armed or naked were. Fast fled the people weak, and with the same a squadron strong is to the temple gone, which burned and builded off still keeps the name of the first founder, wise King Solomon. That prince this stately house did whilom frame of cedar trees, of gold and marble stone. Now not so rich, yet strong and sure it was, with turrets high, thick walls, and doors of brass. The night arrived where in warlike sort the men that ample church had fortified. Enclosed found each wicket gate and port, and on the top defences ready spied. He left his frowning looks, and twice that fort from his high top down to the groundwork eyed. An entrance sought, and twice with his swift foot the mighty place he measured bout. Like as a wolf about the closed fold rangeth by night his hoped prey to get, enraged with hunger and with malice old, which kind twixt him and harmless sheep hath set. So searched he high and low about that hold, where he might enter without stop or let. In the great court he stayed, his foes above attend the assault, and would their fortune prove. There lay by chance a posted tree thereby, kept for some needful use, whate'er it were. The armed galleys not so thick nor high, their tall and lofty mass at gens uprear. This beam the knight against the gates made fly, from his strong hands all weights which lift and bear. Like a light lance that tree he shook and tossed, and bruised the gate, the threshold, and the post. No marble stone, no metal strong outbore the wondrous might of that redoubled blow. The brazen hinges from the wall it tore, it broke the locks, and laid the doors down low. No iron ram, no injured could do more, nor cannons great that thunderbolts forth throw. His people like a flowing stream in throng, and after them entered the victor strong.